Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the fawn response. What is it? What does it mean for you? And is it something that you necessarily do? So far I spent some time talking about the fight, flight, freeze and fall responses. And they've been talked about in the context of immediate threat. I'll do that with the fawn response in today's video, but I'll also expand it out a little bit into the territory of people pleasing. In a nutshell, the fawn response is a drive to please the aggressor. How that looks like is different for every single person. For example, somebody I counseled a while back mentioned that when he was approached for his phone, somebody wanted to steal the phone of him, he started cracking jokes with this particular person, and the person ended up giving his phone back to him. After that, my client just melted. He had no idea why he did what he did, and there was an incredible amount of shame that was associated with his response. I remember speaking with somebody else who was filling up petrol. She saw somebody at the corner of her eye who was coming towards her. She looked at that person was frowning, walking towards in her direction. And what she did was she looked at his shoes and blurted out, "Man, I love your shoes. Where'd you get them from?" The person stopped, was taken aback, and he scratched his head and they started to chat around shoes. He left her alone and she went on quickly into her car, and after paying, drove off. The interesting thing about fawning is it happens to people who are generally more agreeable. People who tend to want to please others, people who want other people's confirmation that they're okay, that they're an okay person. We all fall into this trap at some point, unless you're a true psychopath and you have no care whatever about what other people think about you. We tend to want to do things that make us part of a group. A person who fawns can use that skill, so to speak, within the context of threat. They may try to appease or appeal to the person that is causing them stress, and through doing so, escape that stressful situation. This is different to fight, flight, freeze, and even fall, because you're using another brain region. Often it's a region that's associated within the prefrontal cortex, deep within, that allows for resonance and connecting with people, and also a sense of forethought, because you have to really think about what you might say to this particular person, because if you say the wrong thing, it could be a disaster. Therefore, I want to ask you, when you consider your own stress response, do you consider yourself as a person who tries to please others, to minimize the situation, to defuse the situation, which in some ways is very admirable, in other ways it can cause others to walk all over you, so to speak? Or do you tend to react in another way, in a way that we've already described? Do you attack that person verbally, physically? Do you try to get out of there? Do you freeze up and not know how to respond? Or does your body cave in on itself? I've said it before, the best way is to recognize your response and then to attend to it, to know that it's a common bodily response relating to threat. The fawn response is a really interesting one because it is uniquely human. And in a way it's admirable because we're trying to use human connection to work out a particular threat. If that's not working for you, keep tuned and I'll talk about strategies on how to manage these. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in my next video.